Hi, and welcome to It Figures. Tonight, I am going to be reviewing the brand new Robocop. And this is going to be a two-figure review. I will be reviewing the classic silver Robocop and the brand new metallic black Robocop. And Robocop is made by a company named Jada, which actually I've never heard of before. So it could be a new company. And I should point out this is Robocop 1.0. Alright, so the packaging for Robocop is pretty simple. You have the figure here on your right, and on the left you have the black metallic version of him. In the middle of the package there is an opening that you can put your finger in and press to make the light up on his helmet. And it's written in several different languages. On the back of the package, it basically just says Robocop, like the front, and it has the black metallic and the silver metallic Robocop images. And there's a little story. If you don't know anything about Robocop, you can read up on him. On the very bottom of the package is your multiple different Robocops. One's on motorcycles, smaller, larger, and then you have a much larger talking Robocop. And this is actually not a blister pack, it's your standard cardboard backing for this figure. So it should open very easily. Inside the package, Robocop is actually being held in with a piece of string. This is actual string though, it's not even plastic, and it's tied into a knot. And again, new company, so I have never seen this before on any figure. It's usually a piece of plastic you can just unwind, but this I'm going to need scissors to cut open. Okay, so let's take a look at the new Robocop outside of the packaging. First of all, I gotta say I'm really excited about this new movie. I am a huge Robocop fan, and I really like what I'm seeing on the trailers, so I'm hoping this is going to be a great film. But like a lot of fans, I was really disappointed when they turned the suit black rather than this classic silver. But if you watch the trailers, and of course now you can see these figures, they do tease the silver suit in the beginning of it, so you actually have the best of both worlds now. So the new Robocop figure comes in right around 6 inches tall. And this is the first time I'm actually really getting to see the suit in a lot of detail. And I'm really digging what I see here. It's very impressive. Absolutely love the design of this new suit. I'm going to switch gears here just for a moment. I actually do have the McFarlane version of the original Robocop. So as you can see, this one has a lot more detail than the one that I just bought. But of course it's a much larger figure. And while I didn't think they could ever improve upon the original design of this Robocop figure, I think the new one comes really close. I'm going to take a look at the original Robocop's feet, which I've always loved. I think it was such a great design choice. To the new design of the new Robocop, they took the piston out of the back of the heel, which I really loved so much, but I can kind of see why they would do that, just for design choice. So let's take a look at the design of the new suit. Like I said, I'm really liking what they did here. And for such a small figure, I think they did a really good job with all the detail. Take a look at the really nicely detailed chest plate, and the stomach is really cool looking. I really like the addition of the black on the back of the helmet as well. The back of Robocop is also extremely detailed. Looks like on this new Robocop, his left hand is still cybernetic, but his right hand is a human. The paint applications on this figure are extremely well done. Even though most of them are silver and black, there are still little details like this red button or light on his wrist. It seems the new design choice, they added a little bit more black to this outfit, which I think works really well. As for articulation, Robocop doesn't have a whole lot. If it's anything like the original Robocop, he doesn't have that much movement in the suit, so I can see why. His head only turns that far each direction. Because of the large shoulder pads, he doesn't have a whole lot of shoulder movement either. While you can straighten out his arms, they only do bend a very little amount. That's it. His legs are ball jointed, sort of like the shoulders, but because of the heavy armor, they don't have a whole lot of movement. And the knees do bend, but again, not very far. And his ankles do not bend at all. And Robocop comes with two accessories. One is sort of a futuristic looking shotgun, and the other is his pistol. Let's take a look at his pistol first. Just like the figure, you can see the extreme detail they got on this. It's really impressive. With the same shiny metallic paint, and even the red light. Even the grip has some detail on it. The shotgun doesn't have as much detail as the pistol, but it does have the OPC logo on the bottom, which is really cool. The pistol fits really well into his hand. Unfortunately, there is no opening holster on his side of his leg. And Robocop comes with one light up feature, which is his visor. I really like how they cleverly hid the button within inside of his chest plate. Really nice, it just blends right in. With all the lights off, his visor does look really cool in the dark. Even though the camera won't be able to focus on it, it looks really nice. So now let's move on to the Robocop 3.0 version. The packaging on the black metallic Robocop is exactly the same as the silver one. So now it's time to take a look at the brand new black version of Robocop. Because all the superheroes in the movies now have black outfits, that's pretty much why they went with an entire black outfit for Robocop, which is a little disappointing, but still, I think the design here is pretty decent. Because the figure is so dark, it's hard to see any of the details in his head, but the upper half of the head, as you can see, is very shiny and metallic, while the lower half is the dull plastic. And it's weird because he doesn't even really have a mouth here, it just has like a lower lip. When I picked up these Robocop figures, I didn't really go into that much detail looking at them until this review. But one thing I really like is it is an entirely different figure. It's just not the same silver figure painted black. Their chest plates differ quite a lot, and I think the silver one has more detail than the black one. And you also can see he doesn't really have the very large shoulder pads on here anymore, which gives the arms a little bit more movement. However, the elbows are pretty much the same. They only bend about that far. You can take a look at the back of the new Robocop, and again it seems like it's lacking in more of the details than the silver one had, but I think this one was actually supposed to be more streamlined. On his chest you can see the logo with the C on it, and there's two red dots right besides the button that lights up his visor. And again, the light in the visor looks really cool when you turn it on. So Robocop 3.0 kind of lacks the detail of the silver one, but it kind of makes up for it in a little bit more articulation. Not a lot, but just a little. And it comes with the same exact accessories. So the final verdict here is these are both great figures. However, I like the silver one over the pure black one because I just think the silver one has much better details to it, and it reminds me of the original Robocop, obviously, and I kind of wish they would have kept it like this. But of course I can see the attraction of having an all black metallic robot because it's much more menacing, and again, just about every superhero or good guy wears black now. So I can't wait until the movie is released in a few months, and I hope it's just as good as some of these figures. However, I still would like to see one figure come out, either the black or the silver one, that's a little bit larger and has a whole lot more detail to it. So that's been tonight's It Figures, and I shall see you next time.